What's going on, internet? The Black Hokage here, aka TBH. And to be honest, I'd like to welcome you guys back to the Game and Illuminati podcast. But it's not just me here on episode 83. My first co-host just got off work and he's ready to put in work during the podcast. He is here to contribute 15% to the conversation. Game and Ethos, say what up to the people.
Nothing more, nothing less. What's up?
And my second co-host has become a pro at dodging hurricanes ever since he moved to Florida. He's not completely crazy like most Florida men, but he is the GI of Florida, man. UTX JG the Don, say what up to the people.
Dang, no A9. That man was born there. How am I the official Florida man? But what up, everybody? Back again. It feels weird to miss a podcast, but we're back for this one, so let's continue on.
Yeah. And if you want to appear on the next episode, be sure to back us on Patreon at patreon.com/GI updates. You can appear on the show. Also, make sure to take the show on the go. The podcast is available on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, all other major podcast outlets. Be sure to download the GI app. It's available on iOS and Android. It's totally free. Just search Illuminati on your respective app store. Keep in mind that we spell Illuminati with the word naughty as in naughty or nice. Now, before we get into the news, I thought I'd switch things up and just go ahead and get all this crap out of the way because, like, I swear to God, since we first started doing this podcast, it used to just be PlayStation and Xbox, and now it's just everybody and their mama's giving away free games, and I'm not complaining, so I'm just going to go ahead and knock it out of the way. For April 2019, even though the month's already almost over, who cares? On Xbox, free games you'll be getting for the Xbox One. Technomancer, not bad. Outcast, what is this? Outcast Second Contact, some space shit. And then on the 360, keep in mind that games are backwards compatible, so you'll be getting Star Wars Battlefront 2, the real Battlefront 2, and Ghost Recon Advanced Warfare. On the PlayStation, free games for April, you'll be getting The Surge and Conan Exiles. So if you can't afford Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, you can try playing The Surge. That's the broke boy version. On the PC side of things, for Amazon Prime members, you guys get free copies of Her Story, Inner Space, Juggernauts, and Keep in Mind Remaster. You just got to connect your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account. All those games suck, but they're free, so whatever. And then also, this is the cool thing. If you are also an Amazon Prime member, you get a free year of Switch Online. So whether you own a Nintendo Switch or not, like let's say you're thinking about getting a Nintendo Switch soon and you're an Amazon Prime member, please connect it to your Twitch account. You will get a free 1 year that you can claim, and then you can just, use it for later, make your Nintendo account. I think it says this deal ends January 22nd, 2020. So, I mean, you don't got to do it right away, but it's there if you want it. So, just more benefits for being an Amazon Prime member. But yeah, those are the freebies for the month of April. All right, let's hop into the conversations, boys. What's the name? JG wasn't here on the last podcast when we talked about Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and he was just very adamant in the group DM that he gets his opinion off. He has actually finished this is not a full review because we have not all finished the game, but JG has finished it, so he's gonna go ahead and share his opinion.
Say it one more time for the people in the back.
This is not a full review. Ethos and I have not finished the game, and to be honest, I probably never will finish the game, or I'll finish it next year at a very slow pace. So this is just JG's kind of opinion on this shit because he wanted to really get his opinion off. I know you guys like to think that all our opinions are the same, but anyway, yeah, JG, what's your opinions on this? And then we're going to talk about some other news surrounding around Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. You guys,
I just want to say a few things because I know a lot of people did not tune into Ethos's video or the live stream period when we talked about what happened, the controversy, as you would say, about this game, because people want to key on the last podcast and make imaginary bets on who will rage quit the game.
You just speaking Spanish?
Kiki? This man says Spanish. Anyways, since y'all want to make imaginary bets on who will rage quit the game first, and seeing as I beat the game first, that's a crazy accomplishment for all of that. And then on the matter that I cheated, which was apparently a sin. I mean, who hasn't watched like 15 minutes of gameplay? And if I recall, both of y'all in this podcast watched my stream because we were all supporting each other, right? So actually,
yeah, I have put up to your streams while you were playing, and every time you were on a boss fight, I literally closed the stream out. You notice I disappeared. I never watched how you beat it. So no, I've completely been playing blind. I never watched no walkthroughs. When Ace was doing it, I say what up to Ace and I leave. I do not sit there and study what y'all was doing. So go ahead.
Well, that's generally what I do too. But since I admitted on Ethos streams I was scared of shit to play this game. And again, we put this on record. I was scared of shit.
JG had a hollow victory. He didn't earn.
This has been the very first Dark Souls-esque game that I played, and then hearing that this game was harder than both Dark Souls and Bloodborne combined. I looked up, not a walkthrough. I want to make that clear. It was not a walkthrough. It was a combat guide. It literally showed nothing about the game. It showed nothing about the game, about like any bosses or anything. It just showed how you're supposed to play this game compared to Bloodborne and Dark Souls. Which, T-Bage, what did you call those games? A dodge simulator?
Yeah, they are. They're boring.
Yeah. So Sekiro is totally different. So I just watched something on like how to approach this game compared to those games, and I was accused of cheating, but that's neither here nor there. I beat the game, and I would like to say, for this being like my official like first, because I don't even include Neo, because I only play like the demo of that, and I wasn't a fan. But for this to be like my first official From Software game, I would have to say that like I'm kind of mad that I didn't play like Dark Souls and Bloodborne. I have to say that, even though I'm still not a fan of those mechanics, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But for me, like being like quote unquote like afraid of playing these type of games, because like they were, like I would say like a masochist type of game. Like I didn't see why people played it. Actually playing this game and like getting the sense of satisfaction, like when you're beating like the bosses that have been kicking your ass all throughout the game, it's great. It is great. So I totally understand like why people like these type of games. I think they're From Software did an amazing job with this type of game. And I said before as well, I really wasn't a fan of like the Dark Souls and Bloodborne type of games, because I wasn't really a fan of like the lore and the story, but I love anything feudal Japan. And I think that was the main factor for me, like getting this game and actually trying it out compared to those games, finally getting a chance to try it out. And I would say like it was great. Like the mechanics were great. I like the whole fact that like there's no stamina system. I think that was like one of the major factors, like really, really got me into it, because I didn't like the stamina system at all. I love the deflection system. I love all the gadgets that you get. I love the fact that like you really have to like study your enemies in order to beat them, because you're not just going to run in and just do amazing on your first try. And even though I watched a combat guide, like I still got my ass beat when I got to like the first mini boss. So like it doesn't matter like what you watch, like you still have to be good at the game. You still have to learn. You still have to adapt to get good. And I think that's one of the main flares that like From Software has always implemented into their games. Like you still have to learn like what you've been doing wrong, and eventually like if you get good, then you'll end up overcoming the boss and you'll move on to the next phase. I thought that all that was amazing. So like for and again, we'll talk about it when you all beat the game, we do the final review. But I thought that the game overall was like a super like well polished game. Like it was rarely anything that I could say that was negative. If I had to pick a negative, I would say like the camera gets wonky at times, and I hate for the camera to always be a negative, but that's just how it is. The camera.
Which version did you play?
I played the PC version.
See, yeah, I wish I would have got the game on PC, because I can't say the same about. Did you play the PC version, Ethos? Which version did you play?
Why would I play at 30 frames per second?
I didn't know it was going to be at 30 frames. I thought on the Xbox One X it was going to be 60 frames. Like most games should be able to run it. But fuck, no, because I'd say that's one thing that's different on the Xbox version. Let's see. It almost I've contemplated picking it up on PC and starting over again, because one thing that frustrates me playing it on Xbox is the frame rate drops, and in a game like that where you have to stay in the pocket and sit there and deflect, I get really frustrated with that shit. Between that and the camera.
It probably happens more for you.
It's at 40 frames.
I don't know if it's like that on the PS4, but on the Xbox, that shit be dropping. And I'm talking about it be skipping sometimes. And that shit, that's why I was getting annoyed playing, like streaming that shit.
For the most part, the game is optimized on PC, but I know the Ethos has had this problem too. Like it's like certain parts that you will get frame skips. It kind of does dip in frames a little bit.
It's only happened to me on the final area too. That's the most fucking annoying part about it. I never had this issue until literally, maybe they patched something and that's what's caused it.
Yeah,
I never had this issue until like this final area that I'm stuck on. Like it's just, randomly I'll just have frame fucking skipping. It scares the shit out of me.
And you're not the only one. I've seen it happen to somebody else too, and maybe it's just that part. I don't know why that part is, I guess, like graphically intensive, or I don't know. I don't really know like how to explain like what's going on at that part. But you're not the only one. But it's happened to me too, in different areas. So I would say like that's kind of a negative. But for the most part, the game has been pretty optimized on PC. So I would say that's again a plus. But I would say like really the only negative again is just like the camera. I think other than that, like the game is very, very well polished. I think that is technically impressive. Again, it really makes you think. It really makes you have to think about your mistakes. And even though like I didn't pay full attention to the story, I would still say that the story, like once you actually do everything, because I didn't even do everything. And that's another thing I wanted to mention. Like I chose the bad route, and I did it on accident.
You copped out so fucking hard, bro.
And again, people were trying to get on me for that too. But I think it's the one game that like once I beat that path, because it's like apparently like 4 different stories, 4 different endings that you can get. This is one of the first games in a long time, like because we play so many damn games a year. This is one game that I actually want to go through and do another playthrough. And I thought I'd never say that, but like I'm actually interested to like do it again, to like experience everything. I love that the game is like super open world. You can pretty much do like the majority of things in any order that you want. Like there are bosses that you can completely skip and it doesn't really affect the game. But again, if you go to them, obviously you'll get stronger or whatever. So I just really love this game. Like this game is totally like a game of the year contender for me. And I thought that I would never say that in a million years from Software.
Damn, imagine a year ago, JG never would have given a From Software game the benefit. Like
he's tapping into his 21%. It's changing his perspective.
This is it. We've hit peak levels of
like I'm still a hack and slash type of fan, but I like that like this game really made me like think about like how I want to approach each boss, because I can't approach each boss the exact same way. Yeah. And I think that's one of the main flares that like I really enjoyed about the game. So shout out to From Software, man. I think that they had a good one with this one. I can't say personally that I think that this game is harder than Dark Souls and Bloodborne, even though that that's what they claim. But I would say like for me getting through this game, I would say that like it was definitely a very, very tough challenge, but I'm very satisfied that I ended up overcoming it and beating the game. So that's my thoughts on it.
True. What's the name? Since me and Ethos already kind of went over this on the last podcast, let's switch it up. Another Sekiro topic. So like one of the big news stories that's been coming out since the last podcast is a lot of major outlets have been making the argument that Sekiro needs an easy mode. And then there's been, I think it was like PC Gamer or something like that. They said that they beat it with cheats and they weren't ashamed. So like basically this argument, not this argument, but like this conversation has been going around in the gaming community. Do y'all feel like this game needs a easy mode so it's more accessible to other people? Ethos?
Oh, why you do me like this?
What's your hot take? You're the one that's doing all the Twitch hot takes. Go ahead.
Oh man, I'm gonna get fucking hate for this. I don't care. It doesn't affect my enjoyment of the game at all. If it helps someone else like to enjoy the game, then I say why not give them. I don't know necessarily. You got to make the game stupid easy mode, but like if there's little ways that you can create mechanics to help people who are like just like they're dying over and over again, or they're not getting advanced, whether it's like a little tip, a little bit of advice, or maybe some sort of mechanic that can help like give you like a boon when you try again after like dying a certain amount of times, like that maybe might be a better way. I don't think they need to necessarily like, let's say, make the AI stupider or make the AI more like, oh, it doesn't do any damage to you, like he hits you like with like a fluffy pillow or something like that. I'm not saying that, but I think there's other ways that I think they can improve it, because like I'm right now on the final boss and that shit's just something else, dude. It's fucking not saying that I want like an easy mode so I can beat this final boss and be done with it, but I think like at a certain point, like sometimes like people hit a wall and they're just like, yo, like it just becomes so frustrating to the point that just having like something there to help assist would be great, which is kind of it's kind of weird because this is the first From Software game that doesn't have a sort of like easy mode. Like I would argue the other Dark Souls and even Bloodborne had an easy mode.
What was it? What do you mean?
So it was like co-op. So like if you got stuck on a part where like you felt like you couldn't get through, like that's how like a lot of Dark Souls 3, I was able to get through Dark Souls 3 a lot. Like there's a part where I couldn't get
Revelations,
through.
Ethos cheated. Okay.
I guess.
Is Ethos the real cheater, not JG?
A lot of people have done this. Like when me and Anon first started playing, I remember the only reason why we bought the game was because of co-op. That was the only reason we were initially like, yo, you and me, like we'll play through this game because the co-op will be available. We didn't understand how difficult co-op was to actually get to work. And the requirements needed for it. But that was in a way like an easy mode. It was a way where you could get somebody else to come in and help you, whether it was like with a boss. You could get somebody who's really good at the game to come in and basically help assist you to get through the boss. Or if there was like a level that you wanted to help, or if you just wanted to go through a co-op like experience with your friend, you could do it. Like that's not in Sekiro at all. There's no co-op companion. There's like barely any sort of assistance. There was like in the other old games, there was like NPCs. Some of them you could recruit and they would like walk around with you and help fight. I think in Sekiro, there's only one at the beginning of the game in that flashback sequence. I haven't found any other ones in the game. So I feel like, yeah, like this kind of like leads towards like what From Software was saying, like this is their hardest game because a lot of those like quote unquote easy mode mechanics have been removed from the game. And so that makes it where, you know, I think people forgot a lot about that when like analyzing this whole like argument is like there's a lot of loss of previous mechanics from the older games that's not there now for Sekiro. And was it done on purpose to be harder? Perhaps, maybe that's the case. It could have been that they just didn't have the time to implement these features like PvP and PvE. So they took it, they just didn't have time. These are things that we just don't know. So, but like me personally, I don't care. Like it doesn't impact me at all if like someone used, I use the easy mode to beat it. It doesn't matter to me if that, like if they use whatever mode and stuff like that they need in order to beat it, cool, whatever. At the end of the day, do they get to enjoy the game? Do they find it enjoyable? Cool. I know some people will be like, well, what is it, like the creative vision and you know, and there's another whole entire argument about like accessibility, which I completely agree with when it comes to like creating accessibility for like people who are disabled or have like, you know, certain issues that they need help with in order to play games. I'm more than fine to like, you know, implement those type of things in the games to help.
That's a totally different conversation. We're just talking about people who need to get good. We're not talking
it's not because the accessibility talk has been thrown into the difficulty.
Yeah, but the majority of those articles were people who were just trash at the game, bro.
Which people?
Fucking the PC gamer dude who said he had to use hacks that had nothing to do with disabilities.
Right, but I'm saying that there are also people arguing about accessibility when it comes to Sekiro too.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. If that's to help some people with like disability,
yeah, like,
I'm strictly just talking about. I'm strictly just talking about people. Like the average person just get fucking good. That's what we're talking about.
I don't care. Like I get the whole get good culture. I talked about this like for 2 years straight about this. Remember, I was trying to convince you guys to go play Dark Souls 3. I was trying to say the same shit to you guys about it. You just got to get good. Like I get the whole like deal about it, but I'm not one of those crazy elitists about it that's like, oh, I had to suffer through this fucking experience and really get my ass beat in order for me to beat this game, and I feel like you need to go through the same thing too. It is, for me personally, I don't give a fuck. I'm not that deep into it. So.
I feel you on that. I'm actually going to well, I guess because you said you don't care, I don't want to say I disagree with you. I would say I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. This is coming from somebody who sucks at these games.
Oh, you're an elitist?
No, I guess you can call me. This is coming from somebody who sucks at these games. I don't think they should put an easy mode in the game. Because I feel like game developers are artists, and I feel like it's very arrogant and pompous to try to tell an artist what his vision should be. This is their paintbrush, and this is the art that they wanted to create, and this is the way that it was intended to be consumed. And it's not your place, I don't think, to tell people. Like, I feel like we always had this conversation, like, once something hits like a certain threshold of quality, then it becomes subjective. Like a YouTube video, are the visuals, is it in 1080p? Is it crisp? Is the audio clean? Okay, objectively, that hit the threshold. After that, everything becomes subjective about the quality of the actual content. Same thing with games. Does the game work? Are the graphics cool? Does it have good voice acting? Like that, once it hits like that certain threshold, everything becomes subjective. So I don't think it's anybody's place. Like, this is what they wanted to make, and everything is not for everybody. And to kind of steer the conversation somewhere else, I think what it really comes down to is the internet has become this one big ass place. It's become this one big water cooler where everybody wants to share their fucking opinion on everything, and people don't realize that, you know, maybe you don't need. I understand that Sekiro is the hot topic and you want to get clicks and views, but maybe you should just shut the fuck up. Like, everything isn't for everybody, and that's what I was talking about with the subject. Once it becomes a certain threshold of quality and it's about subjectiveness, then it becomes is it for you?
It's part of the quality of the game because you didn't bring up difficulty when you listed those things.
Yeah, that's the picture that they intended to paint. And it's like, it becomes, you have to recognize maybe this isn't for you, because I've always said on this podcast for years, that what's the name? The sidestepping simulator, I was just never into it, and that's why I never played it. What's the name? So like, it's like, but I recognize that I have a bias toward those games, and that's why I never reviewed them, and that's why I will never review.
Can I give you a counter to one of your points?
Oh, go ahead.
So one thing, I've heard this argument a lot, and one thing I've always wondered about is when people say, well, this is the vision of the artist, or this is the vision of the developers for this game to be difficult. But the thing that I take issue with that is that there is no on record thing that states like Miyazaki or the rest of them say that like this is our vision. Like none of them have stepped into this argument and have said without a doubt like we want our games to be this difficult and like that. It seems like gamers are putting that into the words of their mouths, even though none of them have. I haven't. I've checked on the internet a couple times. I've not found anywhere, unless like I missed a interview or something like that, but I've never heard anywhere where Miyazaki was like, I'm not making these games easier because my vision is to make them hard as shit. And to that point too, I think what it was like, I think also that like sometimes these things don't necessarily have to impact your vision. I think Cory Barlog said it best.
Who's that?
He's the guy who created. He was one of the leads for God of War, the new
okay.
one. He was like talking a little bit about this too, and like he tweeted out. You might have seen me retweet it, but he tweeted out and said like he was more focused on accessibility, but the two kind of get like intertwined. But he was talking about like that. Like when he was talking specifically about accessibility, but he was saying like accessibility does not impact my vision as a developer of like what I want to achieve. Like for Miyazaki, for example, like Miyazaki might have different reasons about like his vision for the game. Like it might not be that it's a difficult game. Maybe that's not really what he's trying to push at. Maybe it's just sort of like maybe it's like what he's trying to tell, maybe the tragedies that are in all of his games when it comes to the characters, or maybe it's like something else. Like these are things that we don't know because Miyazaki hasn't said them. Like I could Google it and see if maybe he said like in an interview. I could check that, but like that's just one thing that's like irked me. Not necessarily that I'm saying that like it's not wrong to make that assumption. It's what? Oh,
who got Siri?
My Google heard me say that and it Googled it for me. Oh wow, okay. That was fucking weird.
Scary.
That's kind of scary.
You about to get Instagram ads tailored towards you for Sekiro, bro. I swear to God.
Here, I'm gonna turn my phone off now. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's like my only like rebuttal to that. Like,
no, that's a good point. I haven't heard the developers
say that.
I would just say like my gut tells me that what it really comes down. I'm not saying what you're saying is wrong. What it really comes down to is gaming. Gaming has become so social now that people just don't want to be left out of the conversation. So they feel like they got to beat something so they can be a part of it. You're more upset
about like just like talking shit just for talking shit, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like what we talked about with like how people made like 50 like hate videos like towards Anthem, and it's like we made that argument. Well, you already had a bias before the game came out. It's like people just want to be a part of the conversation. It's like you weren't even trying to like the game, regardless of how it came out. Basically, is what I'm saying. People just want to be a part of a conversation. So it's like, and I can't beat the game. Well, can you put an easy mode in there so I can share my opinion? I think that's what it comes down to. Well, we've been sitting here going back and forth. Jay, what you think?
I also agree with you, TBH. I'm not going to straddle the fence on this. I do not believe that Sekiro needs an easy mode. My reasonings come from what is this technically the 6th iteration from software. You had Demon Souls, you had Dark Souls 1, 2, 3, Bloodborne, and now Sekiro, right? If I'm not mistaken. So I think that it would be safe to say that that the creators of these games do want their games to be hard. They do want it to be a challenge. Even if they didn't outright say it, I think that would probably be a safe assumption at this point. They do want the game to be hard. And I would also defend that fact by them saying that Sekiro is going to be tougher than Bloodborne and Dark Souls combined. If that's something that they actually said, then I think that would be a safe assumption to say that they want this game to be hard. In this world, not everything is going to be for you. I'm not really a racing game fan, so I'm not the type that plays racing games. I don't really like simulators. I don't really like RTS games. So I'm not going to go to each one of those communities and say, hey, can you make this a little bit easier for me? That's just not the type of mindset that I have. Like, if those games aren't for me, I'm not going to infiltrate that community and demand something. Because that's what I feel like it kind of ended up being at this point with this particular game. I'm demanding that you put an easy mode in there so I can play it. At this point,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
At this point in time, with the Demon Souls, Dark Souls, and Bloodborne iteration, when you get to Sekiro, why are you saying now that you would want an easy mode? You should already know what the deal is when Sekiro even came out and you saw that it was a From Software game, because to this date, these have been the only type of games that they've been making, right? So they're not going to just all of a sudden switch it up and make the game easier for you. Now, I do agree with your points, Ethos, where like they probably could, like, if you're dying like a whole bunch of times, maybe they could put some tips that pop up on the screen to say, hey, you know, hey, maybe you should do this. Yeah, like that's been the thing.
After like 15 deaths or some shit like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like
we all die alive.
Yeah, that's been the thing in other games. I've even seen other games where like you die, you know, a few times and they say, hey, do you want to put the game on easy mode? And you know, that's fine. But I don't feel like in this particular game that should be an option. I think that the developers wanted the game to be like this. And again, I'm backing my sayings because of the previous games. That's the only thing that I could really use as a defense. So if this game isn't for you, if you were never a Dark Souls fan, if you were never a Bloodborne fan, why would you go to Sekiro and demand that? Like, that was one of my issues. I was like, okay, this is a From Software game. If I already didn't like Dark Souls and Bloodborne, why would I play this? The only reason why I really tried it because I was like, man, I really, really love Feudal Japan, and I got it donated to me. So I was like, hey, I'll at least play it a little bit, and if I don't like it, then I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm not going to force myself to play it. But after playing it, I was like, hey, this is a totally different type of game. It has a totally different type of style. I'm actually into it, so I'm going to just stick through it and then see if I can beat it, and I ended up beating it. But
to be fair,
this wasn't my type of game at first.
Yeah, to be fair, this conversation isn't like new to like Dark Souls. Like this has popped up every single time one of those games come out. So it's not like just Sekiro came out and now all of a sudden like everyone's. I don't know why this one got more noise compared to the other ones, but I could have swore like I remember even when I was playing Dark Souls 3, like this, like every time a new like Souls game comes out, even Bloodborne, it was a big one too. The argument about difficulty always comes up with anytime these games were like around this time that a game releases like this. And then I think like the big excuse back then was that I think I can even go, honestly, I can go probably back to my Dark Souls 3 video and I can go to my comments and I can read exactly where someone brings up Dark Souls does have an easy mode. It's co-op or like something like that.
Now that I think about it,
because I could have sworn I've heard this conversation multiple times.
I don't remember it for those games. Maybe it's just because it was amplified for Sekiro. But again, I wasn't.
Yeah, that's why I can't figure out why it was hella amplified, which is weird. But I swear, like I've heard like this is why it sounds like deja vu to me because I've heard this like conversation happen.
Yeah, I guess I wasn't really into the community, so like I didn't really pay attention. That might have been the thing. But now that I've actually played Sekiro, maybe that's why I'm seeing it a lot more. But again, like if it did happen, yeah, I guess you would know better than us since you actually played those.
To kind of go off, what JG was saying, like I just thought about this.
Well, yeah. I'm sorry.
This is like what the. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I went to my psychology of difficulty in Dark Souls. This is August the 20th, 2018. I literally scroll down and I see like 27 likes up. I mean, Dark Souls has an easy mode. It's called co-op. Like. See, and then I see another comment saying, basically, this is why people who ask for easy mode are wrong. If the boss is too difficult, you just let someone carry you. They aren't even that difficult to start with. Like, so this is what I'm saying. Like, maybe it's because like none of us were like heavily into the Dark Souls community, but I feel like this has always been a conversation, at least inside of the Dark Souls community. And I think what you're alluding to, JG, is I think the setting is what really caused like the echo chamber to get louder, which is I think because it was set in feudal Japan, that opens up the market to a huge amount of people who never would have given a Dark Souls game a chance. But because like I think you're an example of it, it's because of the setting change to something that you thought was interesting. That's what got you to like give it a shot. Like same thing with Neo. Like you gave Neo a shot because you like the setting. Yeah.
Like,
and I got to go back and beat Neo now. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Maybe not.
And now you can. Yeah, you beat this game. You should be able to beat Neo easy.
I don't know. That game's fast stamina.
No, because Neo is not about staying in the pocket. It's a sidestepping simulator like Dark Souls.
Easy. This game's a sidestepping simulator too.
Nah, but you got to stay in the pocket more in this game, bro.
The only difference is you don't get as many iframes that you do in like this game than you compare to Dark Souls. Like you can't roll all the time, but.
I was gonna say to pick you off of JG, kind of what he was saying about like what is this, like their sixth game in the series of the Soul series or whatever with Sekiro. Like you could argue that's at this point like there's a pattern and that's their intent. And just because the artist doesn't speak in an interview what his intent is, because an artist wants to create art. He doesn't have to do interviews. And one thing I can think about, it's kind of a weird correlation, but one thing that we always say is like Drake, he doesn't give a lot of interviews, but you can't sit here and tell me that his intent is not to be the best rapper of this generation, whether you feel that that's what he is or not, by the effort that he puts into his music and the amount of content that he puts out, if that makes sense.
But I say his music has changed, right? Like his music has definitely changed.
Well, I'm not speaking about the quality. I'm just talking about the effort.
Influence.
Right.
I'm just talking about the effort, period, in the intent.
Yeah.
Like, you don't need to give an interview. You just let your work speak for it.
Yeah, I guess that's a fair point.
This wasn't a bad conversation. I'm surprised.
And you didn't want to include it.
No. I was gonna say the easy mode. I didn't want to hear JG's stank ass opinion on Secure.
Oh my god.
Whatever. I beat the game. I'm trying to see you stream it again. Go ahead.
Go ahead and start streaming it again.
I don't need that fucking headache, bro.
Let's beat your games.
I did. I beat the Division 2. I beat fucking Devil May Cry. I don't know
how many people carried you in that game.
Nobody carried me in that. I gotta get my gear scored. No.
Nomad carried you.
Wait. You think Nomad carried me in a video game?
That Nomad carried you at
Hell
the end.
nah.
Talk about it.
Hell nah.
Little birdie told
the guy who said Jump Force is a 6-month game. You really gonna listen to that? Okay.
Got him.
Anyways.
This podcast is brought to you by Quip. One of the most important things that we do for our health every day is brushing our teeth. Yet most of us don't even do that properly. Quip is a better electric toothbrush created by dentists and designers. Quip was designed to make brushing your teeth more simple, affordable, and even enjoyable. Why do I like using Quip? Well, Quip has sensitive sonic vibrations. They're gentle enough on even your sensitive gums, as a built-in 2-minute timer that pulses every 30 seconds to remind you to switch sides, helping guide for a full and even clean. As a multi-use cover that mounts to your mirror and unmounts to slide over the bristles for an on-the-go brushing. You have brush heads that are automatically delivered on the dentist's recommended schedule every 3 months for just $5. And Quip is one of the first electric toothbrushes accepted by the American Dental Association and has thousands of verified 5-star reviews. That's why I love Quip and why they're backed by over 20,000 dental professionals. Quip starts at just $25, and if you go to getquip.com/GI right now, you can get your first refill pack for free with the Quip electric toothbrush. That's your first refill pack free at getquip.com/GI. That's GETQUIP.com/GI.
And this podcast is also sponsored by Robinhood. Robinhood is an investing app that lets you buy and sell stocks, ETFs, options, cryptos, and all commission free. While other brokerages charge up to $10 for every trade, Robinhood doesn't charge any commission fees, so you can trade stocks and keep all of your profits. Plus, there's no account minimum deposit needed to get started, so you can start investing at any level. The simple, intuitive design of Robinhood makes investing easy for newcomers and experts alike. View easy-to-understand charts and market data and place a trade in just 4 taps on your smartphone. You can also view stocks collections such as the 100 most popular. With Robinhood, you can learn how to invest in a market as you build your own portfolio. Discover new stocks, track your favorite companies, and get custom notifications for price movements so you'll never miss the right moment to invest. Robinhood is giving listeners of Gaming Illuminati a free stock like Apple, Ford, or Sprint to help you build your portfolio. Sign up at illuminati.robinhood.com.
But yeah, Sekiro, dope game. Interesting conversation. What's the name? Another conversation I had on the show notes is for World War Z. That came out since the last podcast. It's made by Focus Home Interactive, and we always joke around that Focus Home Interactive. Well, it's published by them. We always joke that they're pros at making 6 out of 10s with fucking games like Technomancer and what's the other joint that they just put out? I can't remember off the top of my freaking head, but they're famous for making like budget titles. They might have finally got one. They might have finally got a 7 or an 8, man. I don't know. I haven't beaten the game, but so far I'm enjoying it. We talking World War Z as a 3rd-person zombie game co-op. And you're a big Left 4 Dead fan. A lot of people are comparing it to it. What do you think, Jay?
Yeah, I mean, I got that same feeling like when we played the game. I played a shit ton of Left 4 Dead back in the day, and I know a lot of people were like saying initially, well, like this game only has like 4 missions, like 3 chapters. But like if we go back, like Left 4 Dead was pretty much like the same formula. I think the appeal comes from first the difficulty. Because once you do like easy mode, you'll go back and play it on normal, then hard, and then insane, or and then you'll see like how can you survive in the different chapters or whatever. But I think one thing that this game does, that World War Z does, that Left 4 Dead doesn't, is the customization and the upgrading. Because you have like different classes and you have like different weapons that once you level up, and you get money or experience in the game, that you can upgrade your weapons, you can upgrade your abilities for whatever class that you want to stick with. I think that brings a level of replayability that Left 4 Dead did not have. And I think another thing which if this game ends up getting more popular, that if it does do this, then it'll end up being probably a hit like Left 4 Dead, is if they bring the modding into it. Because I know on the PC version, Left 4 Dead, like they brought some crazy ass mods to the game. So I think if this game does end up popping off like that, then once they bring the mods in, it'll further increase the replayability. But going back to like the gameplay, like I got like almost the exact same feel. It was literally like a third person Left 4 Dead, just hordes of zombies, actually even more zombies than Left 4 Dead even had. Like it was truly like the movie, and I thought that was impressive. What was even more impressive was on the PC version. The game was very well optimized, because like I know like when we were playing it, we were like, damn, like it's a shit ton of zombies on the screen, and like my rig is still fine. So I think he did an amazing job with that. I like the settings. I like the fact that like each chapter that you play, you have a different set of characters. I know Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2, you had 4 characters to 4 characters. But on this one, for each chapter, you have like New York, Moscow, and Japan and stuff, and you have different characters for those. So I thought that was cool. But I mean, this game is really like just a third person Left 4 Dead. So if you enjoy Left 4 Dead, I think that this is a great thing to pick up. And it's only $35 too. I think that's really the icing on the cake there. It's not a $60 game. So if you were on the fence about it, and again, if you like those type of games, then I think that World War Z would be for you. Like I found it fairly interesting, man. Just going through it, and I think that it'll make for a lot of funny moments playing with friends. I thought that it was definitely a great squad game to play.
Yeah, the sheer number of zombies on the screen was really impressive, and the game is optimized. I never had any issues like playing the game, so I was really shocked by that, especially because this is a budget title, which is another plus. I wish the market would move towards this. Like, it has cutscenes in the story, but it's not like super cutscene heavy. It's strictly about you and your friends having fun shooting zombies, and it's priced at $30, like how it should be, and it has multiplayer and deep customization. So it's a really fun game for like its price point. And I wish more games would do like this, and it's optimized. My one critique I would say with this, I don't know if you touched the multiplayer, but me and Chaos were playing multiplayer the other day, and like this game, like it needs a cover system or something, because it's just, you can crouch, but like getting into gunfights with people, you're pretty much screwed because there's no cover system. But the gunplay feels great, I guess. I don't know, it felt like it would have just been nice. I feel like all third-person shooters should have some type of cover system. It doesn't have to be like super like Gears of War, but something to hide in. It's just a lot of just standing there and getting shot and shooting at each other in the open, almost like a battle.
Got guns?
No. There's PvP with people. So they have like, we were playing domination. So you got to capture the points, but then if you capture a point, you can summon zombies to attack the other team and then go capture other points. It's PvPvE. Cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's just like, I wish it had a cover system, but it's not bad. You were supposed to play with us, Ethos, but you never showed up for when we were supposed to. We had a play date.
Busy with I had some stuff.
Because this is I don't play a lot of Fortnite. I don't think y'all really do anymore either. This is my real first experience with the Epic Games launcher.
Yeah. How you like the spyware?
Yeah, I was gonna say China hasn't stolen all my information yet. A keyword here is yet, but to be honest, I don't really see anything wrong with the Epic Games launcher. Is it annoying to have to use another launcher? Yes, but I mean, it ran fine. I didn't have any performance issues. What about you, Jay?
I mean, the only problem that we had was with the game itself, with the friend system. Which
correction, you had.
Well, look, man, it's a problem. If it's still not fixed for me, it's a problem.
You said we. The we don't include me. That's why I said you.
I'm not. God damn it. I'm not talking about you, man. I'm talking about like everybody else. God damn it.
Oh, anyway. You speak for the World War Z community now. Okay.
I mean, they've had issues, did they not? It was something that the actual developers acknowledged. Come on now.
You're not wrong.
That it was a recent issue. Me and Chaos had the issue, not you.
And then you got an invite for me and it worked because I got a Ryzen PC. I got a Ryzen CPU. That's why.
If that's what you want to say.
What did you see when you booted up the game? Powered by Ryzen.
It did say AMD Ryzen. But to be fair, other games said that too. You ain't special. So anyway, as long as
stop giving intel to the government with that i7.
My game was optimized. But yeah, we should actually talk about that too a little bit later. The whole Epic issue. But Go ahead. But the game was good though. I definitely recommend it, especially for the price point. I would say pick it up.
Yeah, when you gonna play it, Ethos?
Maybe tonight. If
we like halfway through the story already. It's not a long game.
If Sekiro makes you rage quit, I'll probably play it.
I feel that.
Which it probably will.
True. So yeah, check out World War Z. It's on the Epic Game Store. Is that an exclusive to the Epic Game Store?
It is. Yes.
Yeah. So there's that.
That's why people are upset.
You guys can use my creator code, the Black Hokage. Anyways, last thing in the main conversation before we hop into the news. This is just something I came up with. I actually don't even remember writing this. I must have wrote this like weeks in the notes. But what inspired this is I wanted to have a conversation is what the fuck is retro gaming in 2019 and beyond? Because they announced Borderlands 3, which we'll get into later. And during that Borderlands 3 thing, they also announced that Borderlands 1 was remastered because the game is 10 years old now. And then Assassin's Creed 3 remastered just came out. That game came out like in 2012, I think, or some shit like that. But it just blew my mind that Borderlands 1 was 10 years old. I was like, damn. Like, A, I'm old. And B, I was like, does that qualify as a retro game? So like, I wanted to ask y'all, what to you is a retro game and why, Ethos?
Anything of the previous generation is considered a retro game.
Why?
Because it is not what's the current generation, and once it gets sidewind into like the previous generations and stuff like that, it's classified as a technical game. So like any of the PS3 games, any of the Xbox 360 games, they're considered retro games. Like the consoles are considered retro consoles now as well. Like Mass Effect is a retro. If you think about it, like that game came out how long ago? Like 11 years
08?
ago?
It came out 08, I believe, the first
about
one.
10, almost 11 years ago. So
let's get that remastered trilogy going.
Yeah,
BioWare, y'all know y'all need to get in good graces.
Yeah, I think it's just like it's a time thing. Like a lot of us, we're used to hearing like the Sega Genesis and the rest of them. But I mean, from a technical standpoint, anything that's not a part of the current gen is.
Well, let me ask you this then. This just came to me because I did an article about GTA 6 rumors. GTA 6 is rumored to be in development.
You said GTA 6.
But GTA 5 came out in 2013, and I feel like most people forgot that the original GTA came out on the 360 and the PS3. Is GTA 5 a retro game? Because it's still relevant.
Not really. It came out on the PS4 and stuff though, so no.
But it originally came out on the old generations. Is what I'm saying. The game is 6 years old.
Yeah, but that was that's kind of like an outlier because it came out during like the year of the console swap, or when the new gen's coming in. So like those games, I don't really think like I don't know. It's kind of like a wordplay, semantics tricky, but it was right on the cusp of. Yeah, like a lot of those games, they were like, oh well, if you don't have the new consoles, you can play on the old version. But if you do have the new consoles, you can play the shinier version.
But I bet you, if you boot up that 360 copy of GTA 5, your eyes gonna hurt because that's what happened when I did with Mass Effect. I was like, ooh, this hurt my eyes.
You didn't play on PC?
I tried to do my playthrough on the because remember the emulator came out with the backwards compatibility, and I still have my disc copy of the first game, and I put it in my Xbox One, and it was horrible.
What is wrong with you all in GI that like literally we all know PC is the best platform, but you motherfuckers still play all this old shit on the fucking console, and then you're surprised when you're like,
well, I told you why I try to play my console for single player games. It's about protecting. No, it's about protecting my investment. We all stream a whole lot, and I don't need my PC breaking down, so it's just easier to stream on the console in terms of taxing your PC. Like I don't want to I don't know, personally I'm just uncomfortable with streaming 100-hour game from my PC, just constantly straining it like that.
You poor? You don't have a second PC?
It's funny. I've seen people with a second streaming PC and they stream still be stuttering. So
they don't understand how.
I've learned that there is a large portion of the Twitch community that does not know how to use computers. They just buy a computer and install OBS.
A large portion of the PC community. I mean, a lot of the Twitch community believes they have to actually need a second PC to Twitch stream. They think that's actually a requirement.
I've learned a lot of people buy gaming PCs and they use it like a console. Like they still be like, how like that software that launches that comes with like the computer, the shovelware, that shit still be on their computer.
How many times you want to bet? I bet you if you had $5 every time we whether gamed or we were talking with somebody that wasn't part of GI, that was like we met on Twitch or like on another social platform, and they have a PC and like they say they run into some issue about something and they say, oh, I can't do it because of this thing. And we're like, no, you just have to. It's like a simple fix. And they're just like, oh, I didn't know that. How many times has that happened to us? Like
I'm about to start charging people consulting fees to fucking clean up their PC, because I got a friend, right? She had a Core she kept saying that her shit was like shutting down and it was stuttering when she would play games, and I was like, what's your PC specs? And then I taught her how to show them to me, and she brought them up. She had an i7 with a fucking 1080 in there and 16 gigs of RAM. I'm like, you have a good PC, there's no reason your computer should be stuttering while you play World of Warcraft from fucking 2004. So I hopped on the TeamViewer. I hopped on TeamViewer and I took control of her PC, and oh my fucking god,
porn everywhere, wasn't there?
No. I mean, she did have a lot of pictures of herself, because I mean, she's a woman, but anyways.
That's what women like to do.
But I was so shocked at what I fucking found, bro. She did not have the NVIDIA GeForce Experience installed and none of the drivers installed. What? I said, what, bro? She's like, I thought I just,
off of without the drivers.
She was just playing the games without the drivers, bro. I installed the drivers. I cleaned up all the files. Yeah, I cleaned her registry, and she's like, yo, my PC has never ran this smooth. I had her stream running at a 6500 bit rate, fucking 1080p 60, bro. Her mind was blown. I was like, yo, I might have to start charging people, because I had another friend, the same exact issue. I'm like, whoa,
what is wrong with you?
So a lot of and I'm pretty sure there's gonna be some people listening to this podcast. They were like, I need drivers to my GPU. Like,
what? Yeah.
Yes, Negro.
Oh my! That shit threw me the fuck off. I'm like, nah, boo. I was like, you do not need a new PC. Your PC's fine. But we fucking peeled off on the conversation. Well, do you agree with Ethos, JG, about the retro games stuff?
Technically, he's right, but personally, I would say it would be the generation before the 360 and the PS3. I think that before then, that would be technically considered retro for me. I'm still not ready yet. I guess like once these next consoles that are rumored to come are going to come, then I guess I'll say like the 360 and the PS3 are technically retro.
Yeah, that'd be retro. I feel like, because the other day was the Dreamcast birthday. It turned like 20, I think, or something like that. I was like, damn. I was like, yeah, that is retro at this point. Yeah, so a few generations, like, that's retro to me. PS2 era is retro, but 360, PS3, not yet for me. Not yet.
It's almost.
It's broke boy.
They're still bringing out games. They're still doing the free games for the 360 from Microsoft.
But there's no games in development, right, on those platforms anymore.
What about third world countries? No, because they just stopped doing.
Poor. I don't mean that disrespectfully. That's just statistically.
They just stopped doing FIFA on the PS.
It's literally like, that's just a stat.
I think you can get FIFA 18 on the PS2 in Brazil.
If you live in Brazil, if you live in Brazil and you have a shitty internet, you can't like afford like a digital platform where you have to download a bunch of games.
Well, no. It's because I know in Brazil, I seen a document. In Brazil, the taxes or something like that is so high on consoles, importing consoles. That's why they build PCs there more often than play consoles. It costs like $500-$600 for a PS4, a new one. Unfortunately,
you might as well build a PC.
And
this day and age,
those are the latest games that always end up on the last generation consoles or the sports games. So you'll always get a FIFA or a Madden or something on those last gen consoles before they're officially done. So it's interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know. If you're watching the video version, let us know in the comment section below. What's a retro game to y'all? Let's have some engagement.
What's your favorite retro game?
True. Sonic. All right, moving on to the news portion of the show. The next gen rumors are heating up. Yeah, PS5, Sony has confirmed they are working on it. I mean, we know, come on, but they confirmed it. So I guess it feels good as gamers to, it's like that thing, it's like, racism exists, but you need like a video to confirm it for certain people, like it feels good to finally see it confirmed. I don't know what that comparison was, but we're still going to go with it. So Sony is working on the PS5. JG, go ahead, let them know what kind of CPU's in it.
We have a Ryzen.
Okay, rise above the poverty. Let's go. Yeah. You wrote this article. Go ahead, break it down for the people. PS5 rumors.
Yeah, so literally when I wrote this article, it was a day before Sony officially confirmed it. And the only thing that hasn't been confirmed is the price point, but the rumor mill pretty much got everything correct, except for they didn't mention the games and they didn't mention the price point. But they said that the PS5 is going to have a Ryzen 8 core 60-thread processor with 24 gigs of GDDR6
that new shit
GPU, yes, and also a 2 terabyte hard drive standard in the console. The rumor mill said that the games that will come out at launch are going to be Gran Turismo 7, a PUBG remaster, Last of Us 2 remaster, Ghost of Tsushima remaster, and 2 to 3 AAA games and PSVR 2 games.
So to add to that before you finish, it came out today that the rumor is that GTA 6 is supposed to be a timed exclusive and launch with the PS5 as well.
That's bullshit.
Huh?
I mean, it's a rumor, so it's not confirmed.
Bullshit. They say this every time a fucking new Rockstar game's coming out. Oh, it's gonna be exclusive to the PS4.
Yeah, but I remember the days when it was only on Sony console though before it actually went to the Xbox with San Andreas.
I wasn't a big. I remember it. Yeah, I remember it.
Then, yeah.
No one cared about it until San Andreas, to be honest with you. Or
I wasn't a big. Well, I'm still not a big GTA fan. So
yeah,
I'm not the massive GTA.
So those are rumors about the game, but the specs are 100% confirmed. Sony did confirm that. So the only thing that we are waiting on is the price points, and we should be getting some more news before E3. Remember that Sony is not going to be there. But they should be releasing some more news about the PS5 soon enough. So within the next couple of months. This is interesting, man. It's coming. So I mean, they had to compete with. You
forgot to add one more thing. They the rumor saying that it's supposed to be able to do 8K too.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah, that was one thing everybody was talking about.
The thing that I could care less about because we still don't have 4K 60 standard now.
We don't got 1080p 60.
For a lot of games,
pathetic.
It's tragic, but yeah, they're talking about 8K. So in this generation,
the 8K cock.
4K.
Oh my god! Come on, man.
So now with the
thought I was gonna get it
about 8K. So who has an 8K TV? Who's listening? Anybody got an 8K TV in this shit?
Most people listening to this podcast can't even count to 8 without all 10 fingers.
They can't even get a 14.
Exactly. So yeah, and enjoy that. Enjoy that illusion that you're going to be playing games at 8K. But yeah, here we go. We're officially gearing up for the next generation of consoles.
The only way that 8K thing is real is if it's some upscale checkerboard bullshit. But I don't believe that's going to be native 8K because like now at 8K TV, they do exist, but you can only really see them like on the CES floor in Vegas when that shit is going on. And them bitches be costing like $10,000. They cost like $10,000 for a 32-inch, bro. Fuck out of here, dog. I'm good.
I can barely tell the difference. I've seen a lot of them when I went this year. Nope, I could not tell the difference at all.
I'm good off that. What's the name? It's cool, all these specs, but what's the price point? In the article you said over like 500. Like that's the rumor. They're gonna sell it at 500. They're gonna sell it at a loss. Like I would be shocked if they can. If they can pull off 4K 60 FPS and it's only $500, that's a good deal. I'm not mad at that. But seeing is believing for me. And what games are supposed to come out? Another thing that because it's not in the article that I read, some other things that Sony was saying that they're gonna shoot for a solid state drive. It's not gonna be a regular 2 terabyte. It's gonna be a SSD. And that's
a good thing.
They said that they ported Spider-Man over to the what do you call it, the dev kit for the PS5, and they did fast travel with it. And fast travel on the PS4 takes like 5 seconds, but on the PS5 it took 0.8 seconds, not even a second. So it's supposed to like just greatly optimize and speed up your game so that you don't have to wait and you can beat your games in 2 days.
You know what? Screw all that shit.
And we'll tell you why beating your games in 2 days is important later.
Yeah, screw all that shit, bro. Let's ask the real question. Like, what the fuck is the network card gonna look like?
Oh yeah, the last.
But none of it's gonna matter if the fucking network card they cheap out on that and it's fucking trash and we can't get our like full speeds that we have for our internet provider.
Got 1,000 up, 1,000 down, but I get 10 on the damn PS4.
PC, I can download all the same games on the console and like half the time, maybe even faster than that, 1/4 of the time.
I feel like a lot of console gamers don't even know that it has a weak ass card in it for the internet.
Like your internet takes 4 hours to play a game, bro.
If you're not downloading stuff on PC, then you wouldn't know. You would just think that that's the standard.
No, that shit is horrible, dude. Horrible.
Yeah, it'd be taking just way too long to download the games. But I mean, if it's true, like, do you think this is a good launch lineup? If let's hypothetically say Last of Us 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Gran Turismo 6, and Grand Theft Auto 6, do you think that's a good launch lineup?
Cyberpunk probably too.
True. Yeah.
Maybe. I need to see what these other rumored 2 to 3 AAA games are, because Ghost of Tsushima, I'm going to play that before PS5 comes out. Last of Us 2, I'm going to play that before it comes out. PUBG, don't care about. Gran Turismo 7, again, that's only a niche market. And PSVR 2, I'm not even getting the damn.
Y'all don't want to play PUBG Remastered, the PC version?
Hell no.
The AKA the PC version.
It gotta be that stuff. So I need to see what these other games rumored would be.
The Kojima game, at least the Kojima game, and
Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely some games that could potentially come out that I would be interested in.
So let me ask you this, Ethos, because you were sitting there clowning me because I like to play my single player games on console. You wouldn't invest in a PS5 if these specs really could do all this and just ease the stress from streaming on your PC with the PS5?
If the games don't play at 60 frames and I can get it on PC, I'm going to get it on PC every fucking time.
So yes, you would if it confirmed that if it had that level of performance, then yeah, you would consider streaming.
I'd still take the PC over it because of the internet speeds. The only time I would take the console side over the PC version is if I heard or I found out that, like, kind of like what happened with Batman, like the PC version is just botched and horrible, and I have to put it on console. But if I always have the option and all the options work fine, I'm gonna take the PC option because I can play at 1440p. And play at a higher frame rate, more consistent, better performance, multiple controller options, that sort of thing. Like, I just have more options on PC than I do on the console.
Got you.
When I'm playing the games. Yeah. But obviously, like, I'll pick one up day one if, like, the launch titles, the exclusive launch titles that I can't get on PC are really good. Or, like, I really feel like I need
the spring or fall 2020 thing, like, they got to announce it at E3 for me to believe it's coming in spring 2020 or fall.
They're probably going to announce it this year.
If they announce it, then I'll believe it.
They're going to. They have to. They have to directly compete with Microsoft. So they're trying to. They're trying
Microsoft said they're showing it this year, right?
They are. Yeah, they did confirm E3. They are showing it. So yeah, I look forward to people buying multiple and selling them on eBay for marked up prices. Shit, I might do it. The PS5. Look out for that. 2020 supposedly. We'll see E3. Whatever they have to say. Kind of going back to what I was saying earlier about the fast load times on the PS5, and now you'll be able to beat your games in 2 days, and why that's important. Ethos said he didn't know about this. All right, so why it's important to now beat your games in 2 days is because you can now finesse GameStop, ladies and gentlemen. GameStop is bleeding cash. They're dying. Nobody wants to shop there. Last time I was there, it looked like Fallout 4. There was just shit all over the fucking floor. The employees just looked sad. Nothing was selling. Nothing was flying off the shelf. I'm not even gonna lie. I walked in, I didn't buy nothing because I was sad. Fuck that place. But they're finding a way to lure in the teenagers, because there was also a study that came out that teenagers do not like going to GameStop. They prefer downloading their games digitally. Like, hard copies are kind of going out of the door. And what GameStop is doing, they're introducing a new program called Guaranteed to Love It, starting with Days Gone, which comes out next week. What is it? Next Tuesday, I think, the 23rd or something like that. April 20 something. No, April 26th days come. So Friday, starting next Friday, April 26th. You are allowed to within 48 hours of purchasing your game, as long as you have the receipt, you can take it back to GameStop and they will take it if the long as it works. This isn't all scratched up. If it's already open, they'll take it back, no questions asked, and they'll give you $60.
This doesn't require the membership?
No, they'll give you your $60 trade-in credit. They will not give you the 63 back, because it's like 62, 63 depending on where you are with the taxes.
Give you the money back. They'll just give you credit.
Yeah, they'll give you store credit. You won't get your tax back, because I've seen a lot of people complaining about this, and I thought this was just common sense, but I forget most people
$3. What y'all bitches?
I forget most people are village idiots on Twitter. What's the name? The reason you don't get your tax back is because they had to report that tax to the IRS.
To the IRS.
Yeah. They think GameStop is trying to like scam them.
Poor
and shit.
People are fucking stupid. Man.
Yeah, that's why they're poor. What's the name? So you'll get $60 of.
That's a joke. It's a joke.
You'll get $60 trade-in credit back towards the store, so you can basically just go buy another game out of GameStop. In my opinion, this is a win-win situation. If you don't like the game, or if you beat it really quickly, you can get another game, and they get to keep you in the store, because at the end of the day, GameStop is a business. The only catches for this is, like I said, there's no special edition. This only applies to the standard $60 edition. So don't be trying to buy $250 collector's editions and be like, you know what, I don't like this statue, and they're not doing that. And then if you're an employee, they're not taking it back. But how y'all feel about this? You think this is too late? You think this is a good program? What you think, Jay?
I mean, it's absolutely too little too late. I mean, people don't already shop there. I haven't shopped there in a while. You said you walked in there and walked right back out because it looked like poverty. So like I'm good at that point. If this was years ago, like when I was, actively buying physical games, hell yeah. They actually had like some other policy like this that they like quickly got rid of. But they did have something similar to this, and I wish they would have kept it. But I guess, they're trying to bring it back in another form. And again, it's far too late. Like Amazon rules pretty much everything now. Any PC game that I get it off of Steam or Epic Games or whatever other platform. So I get all my shit digital. And if I ever have to get anything physical, if there's not a GameStop near me that I just absolutely have to go to, I'll just get it off of Amazon. Like, I don't even care about this. Like, GameStop is just at that point where they're really just like they're trying to fight. They're at the ledge and they're trying to hang on. And while this policy is cool, it's just a little bit too late.
I think it's a good policy, but my problem is competition. I mean, we live in a capitalist republic, and here in the United States, yeah, big words. Here in the United States,
this guy.
all it's gonna take is the competition to get a whiff of this, because I mean, they can't fucking copyright this idea. What happens when Best Buy, Walmart, Target, Amazon, all the big players implement the same idea? Then GameStop is no longer special, and I can just return my games to those stores as well. I mean, it's still gonna get them sales, but I feel like this is just a band-aid to stop the bleeding for a little bit, but it's not a real fix. So that's what I think. At the end of the day, like, some things are just archaic, and you can stop the bleeding, but the writing's on the wall. GameStop, you're old Yeller. We're taking you in the back with the shotgun. What you think, Ethos?
Power to the players.
Fucking bitches. Oh my goodness.
I don't care about this, bro. I can't even recall last time I went in. Honestly, I honestly go only into GameStop out of pity. Like, I feel sorry. Sometimes I see the store, I just feel sorry for them. Like, let me see what I can buy out of here to just keep them going for like another month. I don't know.
You say you trying to help out the poor? Damn.
Yeah, bro. That's my charity, bro. I put that shit on my taxes. I tell them I go to GameStop at least twice a year to help them out.
I remember I used to be excited to go to GameStop.
Yeah,
because you were a kid. You're not a kid anymore.
Yeah.
Got shit to do.
I don't know. There's like really no reason. I guess the only reason I'd want to go to GameStop is if I wanted to buy like a new console or something. Not even then. I could just buy it off of Amazon. Fuck, nope. I don't know, man. Amazon,
the only way this program would really help them a lot is if the competition doesn't steal the idea. And I mean, come on, competition always steals ideas. Look at fucking Fortnite. They did it instantly with Apex. They don't steal the idea, and then they sell a lot of used games, because for those of you unaware, GameStop, that's how they make the majority of their money, used game sales. That's why they're low-key doing it, because they're going to bring in more used copies, and they can sell them for $55 and make all that money. So, and
keep the money in their, their wheel. So like, even if you refund it, it stays inside the GameStop economy.
I feel like GameStop is in a position of Avengers. Like, they could survive, but there's 14 million ways they're gonna lose. Like, they only got one way they're gonna win, and like they got like a 5% chance they'll still survive. Like, this will stop the bleeding for a little bit, I think, but we'll see. I don't know. Other news: new Star Wars game was revealed from Respawn. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. It is a single player game. Some fun facts: single player, takes place between episode 3 and 4, right after Order 66, for those of you unaware. That's basically when the Sith Lords put a hit out for all the Jedis. They started slaughtering them. It was basically Jedi genocide. Jedicide? Can we call it that? And you play a character named Cal. He basically manages to escape somehow. He's a Padawan. He's living in hiding. He's working like some regular ass construction job. And then he has to end up saving one of his teammates, who like falls, and he reveals that he has force powers, and now he's getting hunted by I believe they called it the Inquisition, basically the Empire's hit squad. And they're saying it's a hack and slash game. They're saying it's easy to pick up, hard to master. I found this to be really weird during the reveal. Like, this was a selling point. They said no microtransactions, no season pass. You get what you pay for. Like, is that a selling point in 2019? I don't know. But what do you think about it, Jay? Jedi Fallen Order. You excited for this? Yes, no, maybe.
Yeah, actually, I haven't been excited for a Star Wars game since The Force Unleashed. I think that was like one of the last Star Wars games.
13. You wasn't excited for that?
I mean, if it would have came out, I would have been excited for it. But that's probably no more. So I'm glad that we actually had something official now. Glad that Respawn it has their hands on it. And even though like we didn't see any actual gameplay, if this truly was a CG, if this was in-game footage, the game looks good. So I would say that's cool. The story it's interesting for what we know so far. I would just like to know if this is like in some form or fashion canon. Because, I mean, if it's not, I don't care, but it will be interesting if they did end up making it canon, because I know that's why a lot of people, I think Ethos here was one of the people who always argues against The Force Unleashed, because that shit was dope. I love
just
that.
A second.
The Force Unleashed one had one of the best endings that I can remember in games.
I never argued against one. It's only the second one I don't like.
But you were saying that, people ask for another one. You're like, nope, this is not happening because it's not canon.
Yeah, it's never going to happen again.
Man.
Starkiller is not canon. There's no reason why they bring him back.
See,
Yo, accept it. Accept the past. This is what. It's gone.
Being canon,
You said your opinion is retro.
You can't make that argument.
It's not. He's not coming back, bro. I have the same argument with these losers in Twitch chat.
You know what? Oh, wait. Now that I think, Now that I think about it, there's a possibility he could come back because this takes place after episode 3. Darth Vader.
Understand about he's not canon. What? How do I have to explain
He
this
could have a cameo. He should be alive in this timeline.
He's not canon. This is canon. The Fallen Order is canon. This is not
Starkiller gonna destroy Detroit. You're angry.
Oh my god. So yeah, Ethos can stop, arguing with everybody who liked the Force Unleashed.
Canon. I love the Force Unleashed one. I hated the second one. It's not canon.
I need to play that game now that I got the EA Origin shit. I want to see what's so bad about it.
The second one?
You never played the second one?
No, I never played the second one.
Yeah, go ahead and stream it.
Yeah, I probably will stream it. Like I was gonna do like a series where I stream bad games.
Oh, I mean, it's not bad. It's just
not as good as the first one.
First one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, probably expectation wise, because you liked the first one a lot, didn't you?
Yeah, I love that game.
Yeah, you might. Yeah, like the stories. You like the story too, right?
Yeah, the ending. Like I said, the ending is one of the few games, and I really remember that shit.
Oh, if you love the story of 1, bro, 2's gonna just shit all in your fucking mouth, bro. Don't play it.
Why in my mouth? Damn, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, just keep your. That's how bad it is. Keep your memory, bro. Keep the
visions. I'm a very vivid person. What the fuck?
No, don't ruin that memory, bro. You have a good memory.
Ain't that game only like 5 hours too?
It's pretty short too. Yeah.
I don't see why I couldn't run through that in a sitting.
All right, man. I try to warn you. All right.
Yeah. What's the name? I think the story is really interesting, and they definitely set the world and the universe. The whole genocide thing. I'm definitely interested to see how that plays out. I don't know. I was a little disappointed with, I guess, the character design. I don't know. Like he just kind of seemed like typical generic white guy. I don't know.
White man.
Yeah, it's just kind of boring. Like I don't even care that he's white. He just looked boring. Like I don't know.
You know what's funny? So
give him a beard. I don't know.
I saw this trailer with my roommate Griffin. He's white for the people who don't know, and he was the first one to bring that up. He was like, "I'm sorry, but the main character looks fucking boring as shit."
Yeah, give him a beard, like a scar on his face, like make it look like he's going through something. I don't know. Like, it just seemed very boring and generic.
Well, you know why I give it a break?
He looked like a Twitch streamer. Like,
okay. The reason why I'm cool with his design, this is what I argue with my roommate, is because literally he has to stay low profile. And what's the way you stay low profile? It's not looking interesting. So I was like,
I feel that.
It makes sense. It makes sense.
So it was an excuse for a lazy character design.
It's an excuse for him not looking.
Did I mention that? I forgot to say he was a Padawan. Did I say that?
No.
Yeah, he's a Padawan in the story for those of you unaware. So he's not a full Jedi and he's in hiding.
I mean, he had a standard boring job. He was a standard boring person, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
I get what y'all are saying. Like, you would rather him look more.
I agree. The design is boring for him, but like, I think they did that on purpose. That's what I'm thinking.
I just wish they would have showed some gameplay, even if it was like 30 seconds. Give us something. You
can wall run. You can wall run in the game.
I want to say I'm pissed off. It wouldn't have annoyed me if they would have got on stage and be like, "Here's our game," and they revealed the trailer, and then they moved on to the next topic. I take issue when they do these events and they do a whole hour and they sit down and talk about the game and show no gameplay. Stop hyping that shit if you ain't gonna show no gameplay. That's annoying.
Well, they got to say something for EA Play.
Facts.
This is true. Yeah.
Facts. So yeah, we know they're gonna show it at EA Play. Hopefully it's good. We need more hack and slash games.
Probably have a demo.
Yeah.
Probably have a demo. Yeah.
So yeah, look out for Star Wars Fallen. Did they say when that was coming out?
November 15th.
This year. My birthday. So if you guys are trying to get me a birthday gift, yeah.
Could you not be an e-boy on the podcast?
No.
Thanks. Other rumors. The next Assassin's Creed is rumored to be in what do we call it, Valhalla? What do the damn Vikings live? I don't know about
Valhalla.
I don't know. It's supposed to take place in Viking land. That sounds mad ignorant.
Greenland, Iceland.
Yeah, one of them fucking European countries. Yeah, one of them where they, I don't know.
Norway.
So this stems from, if you play, and I personally actually found this Easter egg. If you play the Division 2, at some point during one of the bases, there's a poster on the wall. I just randomly ran into it, and in the image, it's a Viking holding a golden kind of egg. And the images that leaked online originally, which is really weird because games you can play them in 4K now. Why couldn't anybody take a proper screenshot? When this rumor first came out, like they were like blurry, like small images. So it was kind of hard to see what was going on. So even I was like, there's no confirmation. Could it just be Ubisoft fucking with people? But I ended up unintentionally running into this Easter egg while I was streaming. I was like, oh wait, that's the poster I did an article on. And I have a sniper rifle, and it's funny because I guess most people don't play snipers in the Division. So what I did is I zoomed in with my sniper, and the image was clear. Because you know how sometimes in these games when they have like pictures of like families and stuff like that in the little frames, it'd be, if you zoom in on it, it'd be like mad digitalized and like blurry, so you can't really tell who's in the image. And this shit, when I zoomed in with my sniper rifle, it was clear as day. Like that's a fucking piece of Eden, bro. That shit looked like a fucking piece of Eden. I was like, oh shit. I was like, well, maybe it is going to the Valhalla or whatever the fuck, God of War 2. I don't know. So the rumor is now going around that this next one is supposed to take place in the Viking era. And as someone who recently played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Jay, how do you feel about the possibility of it going to Viking land?
Man, not now. Like, if you were going to do this, don't do it now. We want Japan. We've been asking about it for a while, and now that I've played Odyssey and I thoroughly enjoyed it, I absolutely want Japan to come next. But if the rumors are true, man, then that's not where we're going. I mean, I'll deal with it. Like, if they do end up going in the Viking era, I'll play it, because if they make it the same way that they did Odyssey, then I'll definitely be interested. But I just wanted Japan, bro. That's all. I don't know about this.
My theory for Assassin's Creed Japan is they're not going to do it until, because right now not the final game. They've had a good batting average. Origins was good, Odyssey was good. So ever since they rebooted it, they know they're in the fans' good graces. And of course, what happened at the end of Assassin's Creed, I'm not going to spoil it. But what's the name? I think that they feel like they can just keep putting out games. And they're not going to do Japan until like they're on their deathbed. Like the sales are down, fans are upset, and when fans are upset, they're going to dangle it over us again. Japan, yeah, and everybody's going to come back crawling, because this is what we've been waiting for. But the Viking thing, I was like about it, and I still kind of am. But when I thought about it, it kind of makes sense about even where the franchise is going. Even though it's become more RPG, especially with Odyssey, that was it's always been a stealth action game. Assassin's Creed, but then they would always have missions where you couldn't get caught, so it was always leaning towards stealth still. Odyssey is a straight up stealth action game. You play how you want. You can play it as a straight up action game. With Vikings, I feel like this is them leaning even more into the action, because the first thing you think about when you think about Vikings is a big brute with a damn axe and a shield. So it doesn't surprise me if they would lean towards the Viking era. I'm just confused to how this is gonna kind of work, because I mean, I could be ignorant to it, but from what I learned in school, Vikings weren't the most intelligent people. So how's that gonna work with the assassin guild and the Apple of Eden? And I just imagine a ooga booga dude with a fucking axe. That's what confuses me if this is true. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm ignorant about fucking this shit. But come on, give us Japan. What you think, Ethos?
I'll be honest with you. I don't want to play a game where I play as like a smelly Smash Bros player with clubs and axes.
And a dirty beard.
And dirty beards, neck beards. I already played God of War. I don't need to play God of War Ubisoft edition. I feel like it's gonna be. I feel like when they reveal it, it's gonna be compared to God of War constantly.
I have a hard time seeing like a Viking with a hidden blade. Like I picture like a Viking jumping off a cliff with an axe, and that just looks weird.
Yeah, like
I mean, probably the axe will be the hidden. I don't know. Like, was there a hidden?
You're gonna put at you could. There's
no hidden blade in Odyssey, right?
No, but she has a dagger.
She got daggers.
No, what a dagger is.
Got daggers.
So like it kind of made sense.
Like, they're like all big. Like I feel like assassin would normally be like, you know, like slender in order to like jump around in assassin.
Maybe play as a female Viking or something.
But even the female Vikings are pretty big. Like they're pretty brute.
Yeah.
But that's that could be our ignorance too. Like that could be our ignorance to history. Maybe Vikings aren't like, because what we're thinking of like what we saw on TV, the big brute with the shield and shit. Maybe history was otherwise, because like even there are a lot of people who think that ninjas were really like ninjas in fucking Naruto when really they weren't. You know what I'm saying? Like yeah. Like people really think that ninjas were like that, and that's not the case in terms of history. So maybe we're just ignorant to what the Vikings, the weaponry that they actually used. Maybe they did use the axe, but maybe they used a bunch of other stuff. I don't know. Just me playing devil's advocate.
I thought they just used blunt weapons and just beat the shit out of anybody and raped and pillaged.
I I don't know. Maybe.
They're gonna fight Thor. Thor's gonna be a boss because like there's other mystical shit in Odyssey and
that's the only way it could work because all the mystical shit in Odyssey, if they put the Norse gods in there and you got to fight Thor, I'm in. That would be fire. I'm in.
They're gonna beat God of War to the punch and let you kill Thor first in this game.
Yeah, okay. Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Yeah.
Valhalla. Yeah, that might be what they call it. It might be that.
Yeah.
That could be the name of it. Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
And like I said, because the ending of Odyssey, they're never gonna stop making Assassin's Creed until the sales get low. So
Loki could be a Templar.
Possibly. Yeah. When you gonna beat Odyssey?
Next story.
I was just saying, y'all was trying to clown me for being slow with my games, but whatever, it's only funny when it's
boring. That game was boring.
That game bored me. It was for peasants.
Yeah.
Other gaming news: Borderlands 3 was revealed at PAX East since the last podcast. I don't even know what really to say about this. Supposedly it's going to be an Epic Store exclusive for like a year, I think, or something like that. But Borderlands 3, are you guys excited about this?
I mean, I'll pick it up if
I'm
you guys
not
pick
the
it up.
biggest fan, but I'll play it. I played the second one and it was cool, so I'll play this one.
I never beat the second one. I just played it and I was like, okay, cool.
It's fun to play with friends and like just go around and shooting, but I couldn't tell you what happened in the story, and it's mainly because the way the story was told. They were always having dialogue when you're in the middle of combat, and I always hated that about the game. But
like Destiny.
Yeah. One thing that I will say that I did like about Borderlands is they did a real and it's the OG looter shooters. They did a great job in terms of implementing new, like the weapons didn't feel the same. There were like a million weapons and they all had different properties and shot different. And that's one thing I did really like about Borderlands that I feel like other looter shooters are lazy compared to. So that's cool. Hopefully they'll have like a bunch of different cool weapons, but
guns, they said.
I prefer them to have straight up cutscenes. They can implement the whole talking while we're in the middle of combat stuff for like side missions, but like, can we have some real, just more actual cutscenes so I can know what the fuck's going on instead of being in the middle of combat and trying to talk to me? That's the same shit fucking Titanfall 1 did. I hated that shit too. But whatever. I feel like we don't have much here to say about Borderlands 3. A lot of people were excited, but I feel like we're not.
No, people are just mad about the Epic Games thing again.
Yep, it's another Epic Games.
Yeah, shout out to China spying on us. I got one I know you guys want to talk about. So an anonymous millionaire reached out to a UK organization known for organizing events, and he wants to put together a real life battle royale tournament. He wants to get 100 people on the island, drop down, you loot, you shoot each other, not with real guns. His idea was you get like these touch sensitive vests, and they're gonna play with airsoft guns. And at night you got to camp and you got to survive, and the winner would win $100,000. Y'all participating in this?
No.
Do I die?
I just said airsoft guns.
Do I die?
You can still die. You get airsoft gun can still kill you.
I've never heard of that.
It's happened. There's accidents.
I was thinking this was going to be a real life Hunger Games. I thought like we were actually going to do this, but then they
we're
said
gonna put a bunch of prisoners and now give them clemency on their records.
Couldn't they technically do a real life Hunger Games if they made everybody sign a form,
a waiver?
Yeah, a waiver.
I think there's a lot of ethical issues.
I don't think they can do that.
I feel like ethically we're hitting a very weird area.
I mean, now we care about ethnic society has been screwed, bro.
I mean, you're not wrong, but
you're not wrong, but still, I kind of don't want to go that far this early.
Yeah, I don't want to watch people die on TV and shit like that.
Maybe a couple more decades. I don't need another Gladiator.
That'll be too much.
Yeah, that'd be
like I've seen a lot of graphic shit in my life, but I
don't need to see that real life
for my enjoyment, my entertainment.
Yeah, because like you kind of know when you watch a movie or TV or something like that. Like when I go see John Wick, I know it's fake, even though it's fucking crazy realistic. I know it's fake. If I see somebody doing that shit in real life, I don't know, it'd be kind of jarring to me.
I said this in my solo podcast, Hokage Thoughts. Subscribe to me. It's on Spotify, iTunes, all that shit. But anyway, I said, you know it. I said that I think that if they're gonna do it, like they got to do it just like PUBG, like they gotta fly out of the plane butt ass naked with a parachute or in their underwears. Like if they're naked, just blur their bodies, bro. They gotta be butt ass naked and make them find clothes and armor and shit, bro. That shit would be funny as shit, bro. The romances, the drama, I'd be tuning in every week, bro. And you get to vote or some shit. I don't know about like they could like orchestrate people running into each other and shit. Like how would the closing circle work? How would the closing circle?
They can make it like an actual.
We're hitting a very ethically very bad area now. We can choose how they're gonna die and shit.
Crazy purple knockout gas. They gotta put that on the island, and then like it gets closer to like Batman, and then knocks them out if they don't fucking get in the circle.
Sir,
shit.
Are you okay?
They're not using real guns. Nobody's gonna die. It's crazy purple knockout gas. Have you not seen Batman?
Oh yeah, leave a permanent smile on their face, right?
No, I didn't say fear toxin, Negro.
The same thing, man.
I didn't say the fear toxin. Just get this African American out of here. We're all black, by the way. You know, it's some way. Wait a minute. This podcast. I'm joking.
It's racist.
And I'm 100,000. I feel like they need to up the ante.
That got to be 1 million. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Especially because people gonna be starving and shit. They gotta hunt and shit.
Yeah, get that, man. That ain't
how
enough.
many people they really just gonna put 100 people on an island, or you gonna make more?
And let's be real here. This is also gonna be a potential disaster because of the disease. Because we all know there are certain demographics that don't know how to properly wash their ass, and you put them all on an island and they touching each other and shit. That's gonna be a measles outbreak. I don't want to see it.
This sounds like that reality TV show Big Brother, but you give them guns.
Yeah.
and then you just whatever happens, bro.
But I don't know, man. We'll see if this turns out to be a real thing.
Have you ever seen that the TV show Naked and Afraid?
Nah, what's that?
This is what TVH wants it to be about. Like they're literally naked and they're in the wilderness and they gotta survive.
It's some white people shit.
Yeah, it is definitely some white people shit.
It's some pure
100% some white people shit, bro.
Well, I want to see some white people shit. It sounds fun to me. I know my black ass won't participate. Let me watch and laugh. So I mean, it's still in the talking phases. There's no guarantee it's gonna happen, but it's an idea that was put into the universe, and it'd be interesting to see that air. Would you want to see that on television, or you think that's like a Twitch or a YouTube thing?
Sir, come on,
television.
Man.
Shit, I can see it on Twitch.
It's
an HBO. Okay,
that's an HBO series, bro. What you talking about?
HBO.
100% HBO. Right? Yeah, 100% HBO.
Okay. The real Game of Thrones. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that in the future. Other gaming news. Ubisoft says no Splinter Cell for now. When asked why in an interview, they said, when you create a game, you have to make sure you come with something that will be different enough from what you did before. The last time we did a Splinter Cell, we had lots of pressure from all the fans actually saying, don't change it, don't do this, don't do that. So some of the teams were more anxious to work on other brands. Now there are some people that are looking at Splinter Cell, taking care of the brand. So at one point you will see something, but I can't say more than that because also Assassin's Creed and all other brands are taking off. People want to work on other brands and blah, blah, blah. What I get out of this statement is people want Splinter Cell, but it doesn't sell as well as Assassin's Creed or Watch Dogs 2 didn't sell well, so it doesn't sell as good as Assassin's Creed or Rainbow Six, and they feel pressured, and they want to live up to those expectations. Like if they're gonna put out a game that they know is not gonna sell well, they want to put out the best game. How y'all feel about this? Y'all want a Splinter Cell?
Yeah, I'd like to see another one.
Absolutely.
Full co-op.
But yeah, the hardcore fans they didn't like the way that the last two were made because it was more.
I didn't think those two were that bad.
I think it was okay.
I actually like those. I actually like those. Splinter Cell, Conviction.
They weren't perfect. But everyone shits on Conviction, but I thought Conviction was fire, even though it was actiony as fuck. I just thought the story of that game was fire.
I liked it because I didn't have to do stealth if I didn't want to.
This, of course. I should have known better. I take it back. Conviction's horrible. I should have known. JG liked the stealth game. I should have known that was why.
One could argue that it was convicted. Anyway.
That's how they test the game. They bring JG into the Ubisoft studio, and then if he likes the game, they go back to the drawing board.
Do stealth buffoons like it? Yes, go back to the drawing board.
Go back to the drawing board.
Look, Look, I liked it. I'm sorry.
I feel like there's no excuse, man. Watch Dogs 2 fucking tanked, bro. Fucking put Splinter Cell out. And
they keep putting Easter eggs in these other games too, man. Like y'all are playing too much with the Splinter Cell stuff.
They put them in fucking
egg in
Ghost Recon.
Ghost Recon. They put an Easter egg in Odyssey too for Splinter Cell.
That wasn't an Easter egg. It was straight up DLC. Sam Fisher showed up in the damn game, Ghost Recon. It was a mission.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did actually show up in Ghost Recon, but they did in Odyssey though. They put an Easter egg in Odyssey for it.
Like, what the fuck was Sam doing when Ghosts were fighting and shit, and when fucking Rainbow Six they was all fighting each other and all the operators and shit? What was he doing?
He was retired. He was retired.
You could easily incorporate Sam Fisher into Assassin's Creed and Watch Dogs, bro.
Yeah, you can, but
it needs to happen. It needs to happen. So I'm not really using it as an excuse. If they're talking about because of poor sales, then I feel like they're going down the same route that that other companies that I bash, like Capcom. Like Capcom is finally trying to get around and bring like their old franchises back. Like, just do it, bro. Like, if the people are asking for it, then I would assume that they're actually going to buy it. I know that, you know, sometimes the numbers don't exactly correspond to what you think is going to be, but I guarantee you the cult audience will buy it. Like, if you just bring back some franchises.
I'd also argue the last Splinter Cell came out in 2011. 2013. Gaming has changed a lot since 2013. It's way more popular, way more profitable. There's a lot more new gamers, so more people are willing to try it. And also, the reason Assassin's Creed sells more is because you put it out every fucking year or every other year. So by nature, it's gonna sell more. Like, you got to give it a shot. Yeah, you got to give it a shot, man. Gaming has changed.
I mean, to be fair, if they looked at analytics of other stealth games that have come out recently, I could see why they're hesitant to do it, because Dishonored didn't sell well either.
Well, look at it like this, right? Since the last Splinter Cell, did that feature on Twitch exist where whenever we play a Ubisoft game, people can buy it directly from our channel? If 1,000 people are watching me play Splinter Cell and they're all saying it's fire, a few of them are gonna buy it, and that's gonna increase sales. That's what I'm saying.
Give you enough sales though.
Well, we don't know that. That's what I'm saying. You got to take that risk. The culture has changed.
Yeah, I would also say the influencers do heavily.
But they're not the bulk of what sells a game.
No, but I'm saying there's just other avenues. Come on, Google Stadia. Come on, bro. Everybody's getting that.
No one's. Come on.
Why are you lying? They're gonna get.
Don't lie about that.
Why are you lying like that, bro?
I don't know, bro. I just want to see another Splinter Cell.
You sound like Nomad right now.
No, I don't. I sound like I play fighting games. What's it?
Oh, man.
Come on, Ubisoft. Just fucking give us one. That's all I'm saying. Like, give it another.
Maybe they're
chance.
saving him for the cinematic universe.
Maybe
like he's like, maybe they consider him like their Hulk.
Like, what are they going to show at E3?
Really well?
We know another Assassin's Creed is coming this E3. You think they're going to reveal Watch Dogs at E3?
100%.
Ubisoft is at every E3.
I would be shocked if they don't reveal.
Yeah, somebody clip that.
If they don't reveal it. Yeah, I would be shocked if they don't reveal Watch Dogs 3 in London. It's already been like leaked multiple times that there's a Watch Dogs in development. I'd be very shocked.
Those are rumors. Ubisoft never confirmed anything.
I'm positive that's what they're. It's either Watch. Look, I thought last year they were going to reveal Splinter Cell. But
remember, they're also working on a new IP. Remember, because that IP showed up in Watch Dogs 2, and then they went back to the drawing board because they felt like the game wasn't good enough.
What happened to the Skull, the pirate game?
They're working on some space game, and then that pirate game.
Yeah.
You don't remember that Easter egg in Watch Dogs 2? There was some space game that was on the computer. If you went to the office of Ubisoft. Because you could go to the Ubisoft office in San Francisco in Watch Dogs 2. It was super meta.
Skull and Bones got delayed.
Super meta. Okay.
Yeah. It was an Easter egg. Yeah, so in the game, because it was in San Francisco, you could go to the Ubisoft office and Watch Dogs 2, and if you touched one of the person's computers, it revealed a file of a game that hadn't been released, and then Ubisoft confirmed that was a real game, and it was an Easter egg they put into the game.
Wasn't it a space game or some shit?
Yeah, it was some type of space game, but they haven't fully revealed it yet, so.
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that news coming out. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm sure like they might reveal the Assassin's Creed game, because you said not this year, but next year, right?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a 2020.
So they could probably do that. They're probably gonna do like a For Honor DLC. They'll probably do Rainbow Six Siege, something with Rainbow Six.
For Honor.
And then I'm thinking the Watch Dogs maybe might be their big like surprise. I'd be genuinely surprised if they reveal Splinter.
I feel like they need a new IP.
They got enough IPs. Why would they reveal another one? They just did For Honor. That was their like latest one, right?
Was For Honor a hit though?
Yeah. They sold a shit ton. I mean, they're it was like game seller of the month like when it came out.
We have somebody in the FGC on GI, and does he play For Honor?
But he bought the DLC.
But does he play it?
I don't know. You gotta talk to him. He don't play games.
That's all I wanted to hear you say.
I know you're painting me down this road. I'm like, yeah. Oh, you gotta talk to this man, not me.
I don't know.
Jump Force right now.
But yeah. And last thing I got on my show notes is Prince Harry wants to ban Fortnite. Very important figure in the world.
I agree.
On the world stage, Prince Harry, married to a black woman, very beautiful. Shout out to him with the jungle fever. Prince Harry says that this game shouldn't be allowed. Speaking of Fortnite, where's the benefit of having your household? I wish I could do a British accent. It's created to it's created to addict. An addiction to keep you in front of the computer for as long as possible. It's so irresponsible. How you guys feel about that? Prince Harry wanted to ban Fortnite. He feels like people are too addicted to the game. The kids.
Fuck it. Let's do it.
I'm with it. Let's go.
I'm with it, bro. Let's get a new game out here, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm only on his side just because fuck Fortnite. I'm sick of that fucking game. Fucking people out here writing stupid ass articles talking about fucking Ninja changed gaming and improved everybody's life. I mean, he's influential, definitely, but I don't know about all that shit that they talking about.
We owe him.
Yeah, we owe Ninja. I don't know about all that. He's just good at the game. But yeah, let's get it the fuck up out of here. I'm sick of this side of this shit. I will say this on the flip side of things. Why is it it's always gaming that's blamed for being addictive? Like, you can't be addicted to food and movies and fucking exercise or anything. We don't ever talk about any of those other things. Addiction is bad, period. Why in specific are we pointing out gaming here?
Because it's fun.
Why don't y'all do something about drug addicts? Let's talk about the hierarchy of addicts. Let's get rid of that. Let's stop treating it like fucking people like they're criminals and actually get them help, you know? But we getting too political on the GI podcast. Let me stop, man. Let me stop.
Man said,
stay woke.
He said, "Where is the benefit of having it in your household?" That's what I really find like triggering.
Funny,
nigga. Who's the benefit? What's the benefit of you? You don't even have power. Like, fuck out of here. But who gives a fuck about Prince Harry besides fucking bimbos who fucking stay at home all day and read fucking gossip magazines?
Yo, chill. You talking about the Queen's something grandson or some shit?
I don't understand Britain. Why do y'all still do that shit?
I'm just glad that nobody over here said it, because I'm not trying to deal with this again. Like, because the government every few years comes around and blames video games for something in America.
Oh, America! We did say it recently.
We did. Who said it this time?
Remember? Do you remember when that shooting happened? I think it was like in 2017. Remember Trump brought up video games and everyone was like, "Oh, here's shit. Here we go."
Yeah,
and
that was a couple years ago. That's why I say. Every couple
years
years they do it. I'm not this year. I haven't heard it yet this year, but you know they bring it up every couple years.
Every time there's a shooting in America, they blame video games. Every fucking
look.
Somehow it's
got to relate this to a previous episode, like a few episodes.
Okay, we're too political. We're gonna get
Prince Harry. Let me ask you this, okay? If we ban Fortnite, how are we going to find more recruits for the United States Army? Because remember, the Army is using video games to recruit new young soldiers. We need Fortnite, and you need America, your American ally. So let the kids play Fortnite, because they're going to join the military according to the Army. Come on, it makes sense, right? Huh? This is one of the best. It
works like that.
This is one of the best podcasts on the internet. I'm not going to lie, man. That's exactly how it works, man. That's exactly how. If you can build in Fortnite, you can be an engineer in the United States Army. And this has been Gaming Illuminati episode 83, ladies and gentlemen.
What a fucking mess.
The biggest mess on the internet. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, because that's all I got on my fucking show notes. Unless you guys got something else to add to this conversation.
Fortnite dead.
DED.
DED.
Yeah. All right, well, you got the show floor, JG. What's your closing statement for Gaming Illuminati episode 83? Go.
Closing statement. Appreciate y'all for coming through. Support not only this podcast, but all the other podcasts that GI has.
Name them off, man. Let the people know.
We got a lot of them. We got Enlightened Sounds. We got Hokage Thoughts. We got Otaku Summit. We got the Gamer Flex podcast with Ace. We got Unfiltered Facts with Flock. And we got Triple Threat Sports Podcast. That's a lot, man. That's
7 podcasts.
Whole freaking lot. Support all of them. We got something for everybody.
I heard the Mind of Ethos coming.
No, don't even put that in their mouth. Don't even put that shit in their mouth.
I'm just saying, my lucky number is number 8 because my birthday is 8/8, bro. You would be the 8th podcast, bro. I think that would push us over the edge. Well, I'll change up the GI contract and put you in a bond.
Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck? Oh, I'm gonna call my lawyer.
The worst part is somebody's gonna take that seriously.
Also produce a podcast.
What's the name? All right, Ethos, you got the show floor. What's your closing statement for Game Illuminati episode 83? Go.
15%, nothing more, nothing less.
That's deep.
There you go.
That's deep. My closing statement for this episode is I just want everybody to know that Samsung Fold phone is coming out, and that thing has been like cracking. So if you're thinking about buying that $200 phone, it's gonna be a $200 doormat because like
that was 2,000.
Is that what did I say?
You said 200.
My bad. 2,000. My bad. I'm tired. Yeah, it's a $2,000 phone, and I've seen like 10 different websites, and I've seen MKBHD all say that the phone cracked. Like everybody's fucking Samsung Fold is cracking on them, bro. Do not adopt this technology early. It's cool, but just warning you, don't buy that shit when it comes out. It's supposed to come out April 26th, and these are preview phones, and Samsung's talking about, oh, we're investigating the issue. The issues, you shouldn't have put that shit out. Because
I mean, or you could be rich and buy one, and then when it breaks, you'd be like light and just buy another phone.
True. But all I'm saying is Samsung phones blow up. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, this has been Gaming Illuminati episode 83. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. If you guys want to be a guest on the podcast, be sure to back us at patreon.com/GI updates. You can also take the show on the go because the podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, and all other major podcast outlets. We have an app. It's totally free. It helps you keep up with the gaming news, the news that we discuss on this podcast. It's available on iOS and Android. It's free. Just search Illuminati on your respective app store. Keep in mind that we spell Illuminati with the word is in naughty and nice. That's all I got on the show notes. Everybody's statements is out of the way. We will see you guys on the next episode of the Gaming Illuminati podcast.